Juan or Sylvia Sanchez.
All right. And all the agenda is about is this one location?
You know, we met with them, I think it was last month. We had asked them to do a couple of things, and we're following up with them now. The report from the I think we should let them see what they have. Like I said, Captain Shublin and Sergeant Guglielmo is on with us also, so they might have an update for us also.
Okay. Yeah, I also Detective Oliviero from the 44 is also on. I know that last time you guys requested a letter. He decided to actually join in person, which was better. So Oliviero,
I don't think that Detective. Thank you for joining us, but we did not. The committee requested a letter, so that's what the committee is going to be looking for, is a letter.
Hey, boss. Yeah.
We're waiting on you.
I'm sorry. I just got an emergency call. That's all, and I'll deal with it after the meeting. So in La Finca, we had asked for a letter from the 4-4 precinct stating the conditions that it was and what it is now, if I'm not mistaken. Ralph?
That is correct. And Detective Oliviero actually
requested was a letter.
Yeah, but what was requested was a letter so like that we could have it in the files. Ralph, are you recording this?
Yeah. You're recording it.
Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm sorry I didn't say hello to you.
You will be.
I'm sorry. All right, and the reason why we were asking for the letter, Detective, was because of the fact of that, though you were saying, you know, you verbally are saying that this place is made a 360 change about, and I believe you. I tend to believe a lot of whatever PD tells me, but we wanted it on the record so like this, in case one of our board members would say something to us. But I know that Inspector DeSeglia would not. Have you spoken with Inspector DeSeglia about this?
Yes, Inspector DeSeglia, I've been speaking on a regular basis. I just came back from medical leave with a broken ankle, so I wasn't able to be in the office. I've been working from home. But if you want the letter, I'll be more than happy to submit a letter, and I'll get the CO to approve it. I handle all the night clubs here for Inspector DeSeglia at the 4-4 precinct, and I'm very familiar with the gentleman now that's applying for his application.
Well, and the other reason we were asking is because the particular location that this gentleman is applying for was a place at the time Deputy Inspector DeSeglia brought it to our attention on how much of a problem this particular location was. So if it's going to be a new owner and he knows the owner, I would like to see it in writing. And if you can explain it like that to Deputy Inspector DeSeglia, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I mean, DeSeglia, I'm sorry, before he beats me up.
Not a problem. As soon as I see the inspector, he just left for the night. When he comes in tomorrow, we're going to have our council meeting. I'll bring it up to the inspector tomorrow.
I think that we can probably continue on this particular situation, but I can only tell you, what's your name? I'm sorry again. From La Finca?
Alvin.
Alex?
Alvin.
Oh.
I-N.
I'm sorry. That's Alvin. A-L-B.
Ben.
Alvin.
Alvin.
Alvin. Okay. The only thing I could tell you is I need this letter from the 4-4 precinct. As soon as
Requested a letter from the community board, right? We requested a letter from, and we have Angel who has his hand up. I don't know if he has a question.
I just wanted a clarification that this was the address prior to, I guess, what was known as the Club X or W location?
No. This is a different site. This is East 960 East 165th.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Right.
It's not the same.
Okay, thank you for that.
Club W, but it was formerly known as Club Éxito. So I can see a little, where it can be some confusion, but this is not Club W, Angel. Thank you, though.
Cynthia, so your hand up. You have anything to say?
No.
No?
The letter from the community board. That's what we need to know also. They didn't get the one from the precinct. Was the letter did you get a letter from the community board? I think that's board 4.
No, I didn't get a letter from the community board because I had spoke with Oliviero, and he said that based on him joining, it might not be necessary, but if it's needed, I'll be.
You should have followed up with us then. I mean, you should have followed up with us because that was what was requested.
I want to speak to you because maybe you can explain it to Alvin a little better. All right. These items, so that we could have it on the record. He's right.
Yeah,
the 4-4 had the problems with the location that he's running. At the last time that we spoke, I had assurances both from yourself and from Alvin about in these letters. This is not the way to start when we're trying to start a new relationship. And I hope you can understand that. I would love, off by the top of by top saying, I inspected the sector. So if the inspector would have me, in this board, most Inspector DeSeglia, they would say, you know what? We trust him. We know him. We know him. We trust him. We can go ahead with it. And we don't have either one of those things. So I don't know if we still have. I shouldn't say still have. But I know that the attachment of the outside restaurant, the outskating was attached to the building. I know that all these things were asked to be done between. We gave a whole month. We gave a whole month for this to happen.
Chairman Robert, outside structure has been removed completely. It has been removed, and we spoke to the landlord, and we actually signed the lease, and we have not taken over the establishment effective immediately because we haven't finished off our final deals with Ramon because we need a clearance letter from the sales tax office that the gentleman, the Éxito Bar and Lounge Court, do not owe any sales tax, and the sales tax office allows the self-sale transfer, and that's the only thing that's holding up the closing at this time. We have removed the structure that was built outside by the seller, and Alvin, with his own expense and with his own crew, had removed completely. That's out of. So we are making progress with the holidays last month. It's not easy talking to each committee board member because they're not there physically. So we're really
and I have no doubt that you have. My problem is that I have to have backup to a decision that I have to take before my executive board, and it's very hard, especially when I have members of my executive committee and the executive board that particularly don't care for this particular piece. So you do understand that I have to cover myself, time out, I have to cover myself, I have to cover the board, I have to make sure that I have something in writing so that I can discuss this with the board members when it comes up. And I don't have any of it. So what I'm trying to say is that this is not the proper way to start a relationship. You know, if you've asked me, Bobby, I need this from the board because I can't open up my business, it's incumbent upon me to talk to my district manager to make sure that it gets done. And if it doesn't get done, then I look bad in your eyes. Am I right?
Yes.
I just want to add to that, and well, first of all, I want to apologize for not having the letters. I did ask Detective Oliveira to provide me the letter. He, you know, in his true heart, he thought, you know what, better I joined the call versus giving you a letter. So once again, I apologize for not submitting the letter. And as he said, he's committing now to doing the letter and get it approved by his supervisor, as you heard it from his own mouth. You know, so it's not that I in any way neglected what you guys have requested. I did my diligence on getting what you requested, but maybe it was, you know, a miscommunication, not a miscommunication, but, you know, in our truly heart, we thought, you know what, I'll join the call with you and give them my feedback, and that should be sufficient. But if it's not sufficient, you know, as you heard it from him, he's more than willing to provide a letter. And, you know, like I said, the physical structure that you guys requested to be removed has been removed, like you guys requested. And, you know, I'm ready to move on and do whatever needs to be done. You know, he said he'll provide the letter. You know, we'll get those letters out to you guys ASAP. He said, well, Oliveira, he said, what, tomorrow? You could get it done by your supervisor. You know, like, we'll get those out. You know, it was, you know, a misunderstanding where we thought it was going to be sufficient for him to join. But, you know, if the letter is what we need, then we could get the letters.
I'm willing.
Bobby, can I ask?
The letter for the community board, though. So you're describing the letter from the precinct, but we still would like a letter from Board 4.
Work on. I'll write an email to the committee board myself and ask them to write us would an email be sufficient, or does it have to be on?
I could have it on an email. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah. It's either from the chair of the board or Paul. I don't have a problem.
So we'll have them email you directly from the committee board, directly to you, their recommendation letter.
So, we have to put this off to next month because
this is executive, rather this is FLP. You can either take it to executive, or he can guarantee that he can submit everything before we get to full board. Is that correct, Ralph?
I have a question, though. Maybe Ellen or Elvin can answer. Did you guys get the 90-day already? You guys were getting the 90-day.
I did not apply yet because we want your approval. I do not want to put behind my back and do this.
I appreciate that, Ellen. Thank you.
We're trying to work with you, and I don't want to
proceed without us saying yes or no on it anyway. So I understand her position. And I understand what Cynthia is saying. We can take it to the executive committee if we decide to proceed with it. I believe Captain Sublin is on?
Yeah, I'm on, Mr. Chairman.
How you doing, boss?
All right, Mr. Chairman. And you?
Hanging in there. Question. Have you or Sergeant Guglielmo have spoken with the 4-4 to discuss the location that they're presently running in the 4-4?
So we did reach out to the 4-4 in regards, and they did give it a thumbs up. They had a lot of good things to say about the way that it's being run over there. I can say, I would say to the people looking to open it here, I would say as far as the 4-1 is concerned, I would just share that we work very, very, very closely with the community board. So definitely behoove you, my friend, to follow up with exactly what they're requesting. We are just about one and the same here. So it's great to hear good things from the 4-4. Definitely look forward to see you cooperate with the community board and what they're requesting very closely.
Elvin, I know that you know that this has been a troubled place for us, for our community. A place that has created a lot of problems for the 4-1 precinct and a lot of problems for the people that live adjacent to this particular location. Now, I had asked to also have your security contract and the security ID cards for today. Was that sent?
So maybe we're not on the same page because, after the officer from the 4-1 spoke and got the feedback from the 4-4, we actually had a conversation, and I asked them, do I still need to bring these licenses for the security guard and the security guard, contract for this meeting? And he stated to me, you know what, after our conversation and everything, don't worry about it. You should be good to go and shouldn't have any issues.
Which officer was this?
On the 44th, but this is the mistake. Not every community board runs their meetings the same.
No. This is what's his name? The other officer from the 41 that's on. That was on last time.
Who was that?
Guglielmo.
From the 4-1?
Yeah, that's the 41st.
I spoke with him from the 4-1, and after we spoke, I asked him, do I still need to bring the security contract and the license for this meeting? And he told me not to worry about it. But if that's an issue, I'll get those too. I mean, like I said, this must be a miscommunication, and now I have learned my lesson. So, I don't have any problem providing those either before the other meeting.
Is Sergeant Gukan?
Yeah. If I could, let me just grab Louis. Louis, you want to just clarify that with Iona?
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Sergeant Guglielmo. So, Alvin, you and I spoke, and exactly what Captain Schublin said. I told you on the phone that whatever the community board was asking that you needed to present, we don't have anything to do with that. The only thing I told you about, the only thing we spoke about permits was the pre-existing condition, which is the extension that the previous owner did. You would ask me about permits for that, and I said, listen, you didn't build that, so you don't need to show permits for that. That has nothing to do with you, but that structure had to be removed. I never spoke to you about security guards or anything like that. The community board asked for their own recommendations, and they asked for the letter. That has nothing to do with us. The only thing I told you was that you didn't need to show permits for that. You can't show permits for that structure because you didn't build the structure. So, but
it miscommunication.
Right, but that being said, that structure needs to be removed.
Oh, it has been. It's already removed. It's gone. It's not there anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that. But I told you that whatever the community board was asking as far as paperwork goes, that you had to submit that to the community board. That doesn't come to the 41st precinct.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Cool.
So let me ask you or Ellen. I don't know which one I could depend on, but how fast can you get me this letter from the 4-4? How fast can you get me the letter from the community board? And how fast can you get me the contract and the security copies of the security licenses?
A week.
So let me jump here. So Oliveira, the 4-4, I believe you say you get to us by tomorrow, and I'll follow up with you. The security guard, I could get those by end of week. I'll get with the company as soon as we hang up now. And then the community board, Helen.
I'll work on that. I'll get it within a week. I'll speak and I'll try to get them to email to you directly. So at most 1 week you'll have 3 items. Yes.
So that would be.
Day.
I'm getting old. I can't remember dates. Next Tuesday is the 19th.
Try to you by 19th. Hopefully by this weekend, we'll have everything set off and done.
So, Ralph, executive committee's on the 25th?
Yes.
Okay. So, here's the thing.
So if we can get it, next week, what's today, the 12th, the 13th, the 20th. If we can get it at least by the 21st, that'd be great, Thursday. So that's more than a week.
He's
That's
giving you more than what I would give you.
Thank you, but I'll get it done to you.
All right, and we're going to move on this only on the recommendation that the captain has stated that he has spoken with the 4-4 precinct. Mind you, I was supposed to call Inspector DeSeglia, and I haven't. But I know that the captain probably spoke with DeSeglia. DeSeglia knows this location extremely, extremely well. And he's the one, like I said, that brought it to our attention when he was the CEO of this precinct. And I would love to see a top-notch place out of there, a place that I can take my family to, a place that I know that I would not have any problems with, and that I think that the community at large totally would be willing to do something. Larry, I see your light on. Do you want to say something?
I personally, Bobby, can you hear me?
Yes.
I personally, Bobby, believe that the new so-called owner is BSing us. He had the opportunity to bring all this paperwork in. He's going back and forth. He's saying he's forgetting. He apologized. We don't need that. We need to do what we asked for. No matter what the 41st precinct is recommending, we need it in paper. We need it documented. And we need to follow our rules and regulations of community board too. Simple as that. None of this other stuff should be involved. Thank you.
This is my second vice chair. Paula, are you still on?
We also have Reverend John that came on. So you have quorum here now. Because you got 3 of the 4 board members. Evelyn is still here and Barbara is still here. So you do have quorum for this committee now.
Let me ask the members of the committee if they have any questions. Barbara? Or,
yes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to come in late.
Trust me, I understand.
Yes, I know I missed out on most of the discussion. But are we still on a full liquor license?
Yes. So, Reverend, like that you know what went down. Last month we had asked for several items. A letter from the community board, which they presently have a restaurant in, which is Community Board 4. A letter from the CEO from the 4-4 precinct, which was Inspector DeSeglia. When he was here at the 4-1, he went over to the 4-4. He's the one that knows this place better than anybody else. And a contract with the licenses for the security guards. That's what was asked of them to have mailed to the community board. None of it was done. So I let you know what's happening. Now, I just spoke to Captain Sherblin, and Captain Sherblin has stated that he has, in fact, spoken with Inspector DeSeglia, and that everything that they have stated, that they took over a location that was a troubled location in the 4-4 precinct and have made it into a number 1 place in the 4-4 precinct. And so moved the attachments that were onto the building. It was removed by the landlord or the owners. I don't know who it removed.
It was removed by Alvin with his own cost, sir.
Okay. So it was removed by the new owner, and so on that side they did that. On the other side, they haven't produced any of the documentation that we wanted. would like, and I know what Larry is saying, and Larry, you are 200% correct. And I need Ellen and Alvin to understand, this is my second vice chair. I'm sure that my first vice chair, if she's on, she's going to say the same thing. Okay? I don't make the decisions here. The ones that are going to make the decisions are the three people that are from the committee here. But I think I would give you a week to give me these letters so like that we can review them before our executive committee. Because if we don't get them, then I'm recommending to the executive committee not to approve this license, not to approve anything, and send a letter of disapproval to the liquor license, the state liquor authority.
Oh, you will have the letters.
That's okay.
No problem.
Okay with you, Larry?
Yeah.
That they bring it by, and Ralph gave them to the 21st. So there is no excuse. And so now it's up to the committee to decide if they want to go ahead with this now. Just there's quorum.
Yeah, and look, once again, I apologize. I guess it was a miscommunication, as I was talking to some of the officers, but we'll get that taken care of, and we'll get these letters to you by the end of the week.
And I need for you to also understand, this board runs a lot different from a lot of other boards, okay? And some boards take over the phone anything that the people say over the phone. But people can, what people say are words, and it goes into the air, and if you don't have a net, you ain't catching it. So
no, I understand 100%. And like I said, we're here to work together. And, I'm here to do what you guys ask.
I need you to understand that this board will not tolerate any game playing. If this gets approved by the executive, if it gets approved and we get everything before the executive committee so that we can review it, and if it gets approved by the full board, then understand that all eyes will be on this location. Yes, Cynthia.
I have no objection to that. Like I said, I'm here to work with the community and to make a great place where everyone could come and enjoy, and maybe bring some life to the neighborhood, this different concepts. So, like I said, we're here to work together.
Mr. Chairman.
No. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I don't even think that this issue will go before the executive board that fast. We have not even been able to go through the stipulations with the owner. So, on what are we going to vote? We cannot send this application to the executive board or to the general board.
Here's the thing: you can't vote. You can't vote to make a motion, and second, that they need to provide this to the district manager or to Cynthia by the 21st of this month. If not, you guys can make the stipulation. If not, then the committee will vote no on this particular application.
Yes, on the call.
Madeline and Ms. Lopez are both on the call.
Cynthia?
You on?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you got I think the Reverend wants to ask you a question.
Okay.
I wanted to know, are you comfortable with us going through the stipulation with them before they submit the necessary or required documents?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, please can you help us?
Barbara's on the line too, right?
Barbara, are you okay to go through the stipulation?
I'm not. I've been listening to everything, and first of all, he already came off as somebody who does not give accurate information. Okay, he said one thing that the officer said, and the officer proved him wrong. That's for one. You didn't show up with none of the information, Alvin. So you're asking us to help you and to work together, but what are you doing to work with us?
So we removed the structure that was asked to be removed, and once again, I guess it was a miscommunication as far as the documents, but we're committed to provide the.
You said that a lot. Everything I hear out of you is miscommunication, but you're not accurate. You're not for real, and we're serious. We don't got time to sit here and give you chances and chances. When you need us, you need to come with all the stuff that you're supposed to come with. So now we're going to present ourselves in front of the full board without accurate information. We don't even know if you're going to really abide by all these things that we're asking you. When we shouldn't even engage in this conversation when you don't have the things that you're supposed to have.
We we have committed to provide you with all the documents, and the detective from the 44 himself has committed to provide. Actually, he's working on the letter as we speak to provide the letter. Once again, he thought being on the phone was going to be sufficient. That's why we didn't proceed with making those letters. And as the chairman has pointed out, you guys work differently, and we respect that. And we're now going to provide everything you're asking for, and we're committed to providing that before the 21st. If up to me, I'll get everything before Friday, and I am willing and capable of hand delivering these documents to the board. Once again, everyone works differently, like the chairman said. We thought the officer being on the line was going to be sufficient. The letter was not going to be needed, but apparently it's not the case. So we are committing to providing with all the documents before the 21st. And once again, I apologize for not getting the correct clarification.
Said, giving it the 21st is if they don't come up with the papers, then it's over.
I mean, if we do not provide all the information that were requested by 21st, then it's okay. Disapprove us. We're not gonna, but we will. Please understand, Barbara, that we approach the committee board not with full access of this location. Because we have plans to take over, we approached the committee board. We clearly explained that we do not have full possession and we do not have the lease yet. We got the lease in the early part of January, and although it should have been done by the seller refused. That's fine, Alvin, and cleared out all the illegal structure that was built. We're doing things to comply and work with the committee board, please. So just one more week, because the sergeant said if he comes on the committee board and talk in person, that should be sufficient enough. We'll get everything in written as requested, and we'll send everything to the committee board prior to your executive meeting, and it will be well before 21st.
Ellen, I heard you just say that the sergeant, but I think, I know Sergeant Guglielmo well. So Sergeant Guglielmo, I don't think would tell you something like that. He would tell you.
Sergeant, I was talking about the detective that Alvin had. I believe he was on the phone as well because he was on a sick leave. He was not physically at the precinct. That's why the letter could not be provided immediately. So he'll prepare the letter, get it signed by the CO tomorrow morning, and get it to you. He said this week. That I do believe.
Yes, he's referring to Officer Oliveira from the 44. Okay.
All right.
At least acknowledge and thank the detective, and I'm sorry, Oviedo, for being on. That's really nice of you to, if you're out or whatever. However, we requested the letter, but I do want to acknowledge and thank you for at least, joining and, and I want to acknowledge also that the owner did knock down that illegal structure, right? So they did knock that down. So we got to at least acknowledge some of this, but we want these letters. This is just as the chairman was describing. We need it for our documents that, we requested this. This is what, because we're going to have people come back from the community and question us about this. We know you're new owners, but please understand the history of this location And because of the history and the turnover of ownership, we want to take all precautions here, and I hope everyone understands that.
Yeah, and we agree 100%. That's why we're saying, we're gonna get these letters. We're committed to get these letters before the 21st. I don't disagree with anything you guys are saying. Just give us the opportunity to provide it to you.
Okay, so please, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Barbara.
Yes.
Yes. Please, and Evelyn, I would like us to go through the stipulation so that they have an idea of what is expected. And if by the 21st those documents are not available, we would recommend that either the executive board or the general board should deny the application.
The Reverend will be at the executive committee meeting, and he will report back to the executive committee meeting whether they complied with the stipulations, which Ralph will probably call, or Cynthia would call the Reverend and let him know that everything was complied with. And if we don't get a call from Cynthia or Ray on these issues, then Cynthia and Ralph on these issues, then it's just very simple. The executive committee will vote no on it and take it to the full board to proceed with the no vote and send a letter to the State Liquor Authority.
That's good, because we're not trying to waste everybody's time. We're doing our best to take over and build a respectful, business here where community can and we can just we want peace.
No.
We're not promising something that we cannot produce just to extend time. We will get the documents as promised, and we'll have them sent to you before the promised time.
Just so like that, it's clear. We don't want to have no wars. This is not a war.
I understand. I understand this was a very problem location, and Alvin did not know that this was a problem location. He's not looking out to seek a problem location and take over and continue the same operation. We're going to turn it around, just like he had done.
Let me just ask you, because I don't know if I asked the last time. You guys are not going to have any bands or dancers
No
in the
dancers.
place?
This is a restaurant and with a full bar where cocktails will be sold. We're not no dancers, no band, period.
Okay,
It's going to be we're looking into a place where, like you said earlier, where you could come in and take your family to on Sunday brunch.
Okay, so I have a question. Are you going to have the same staff that Éxito have? Because then you are doing management.
We are not going to have the same staff.
We're coming with our own staff. We have beautiful staff that set up the Mofongo bar at the restaurant, and they're coming in to help us.
That's good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know any of the stuff that were there before. I have, like I said earlier, or the meeting before, I have more than enough experience, and I know more than enough capable people of working. And I'm looking to provide jobs for the community. I'm looking to work with the community, and like I said earlier, I'm looking to have a place where you can come in with your kids and have Sunday brunch after church. So it's not. There's room for everything. And I want to
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Paula.
One Spanish-speaking person at the establishment.
English.
To help people who don't speak Spanish. One
English-speaking person.
I'm sorry. Yeah, one English.
I am native Dominican, and it's a Latin cuisine, so the staff will definitely speak Spanish and English. We're going to be, like I said, I'm looking to hire people from the community. I'm looking to be part of the community.
Bilingual.
And make everybody profitable. Bilingual, of course.
Elvin, let me just say that I understand the question and by the way, that's my first vice chair that just spoke. I understand what she feels because she went to a restaurant with her family to do a celebration, and all the people in there just spoke Spanish. And though she understands Spanish well, because trust me, I know, it's not fair to the rest of the other people that did not know how to speak Spanish, and the person had sort of an attitude because nobody was speaking Spanish.
Oh no, man, we're I've been in business in New York many years to learn that you have to be able to service everyone. And, the black community is also huge. Asian community is huge business. I mean, overall. So we're looking to do a little bit of everything.
Paula? Anything? You okay, Paula, on this?
Yeah, I just want a point of clarity. You said the first vice chair was the treasurer.
Yeah, I know. It's the treasurer. I caught it after I said it, but I couldn't catch it back.
This is being recorded, so we just want a point of clarity. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
First vice chair, angry at me at this point.
Before we continue, Cynthia, do you have a direct line? I kind of want to be in touch with you to see what would be the best way to deliver these documents.
I'll give it to you right now if you have a pen.
Sure, go ahead.
Email them, though. You can do that, but we want to email also.
Alvin, I wrote it down, so I'll give it to you, Alvin.
Okay, she has it.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll email it. We'll take it in person. Whatever. We'll do both. No matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes?
Had something to say?
No, just listening. I'm good.
You're good? Okay. So Evelyn and Barbara and Reverend John, what are your recommendations?
Go through the stipulations with them.
Continue discussions until the 21st. Am I correct?
Yes.
The 21st. The 21st.
Yes.
Yes. Barbara?
Well, the rest of them agree on the 21st. I'll go along with it, even though I just a little bit lost when it comes to Alvin and when people say you're going to do something and you say something else. So give them the benefit of the doubt. The 21st, he said it is. Right? 22nd?
Not the 22nd. If we don't get a call from Ralph or from Cynthia by the 21st telling us that they've got all the documents in place, then we just take it straight to the executive committee. And executive committee will probably vote it down. They'll still have their last shot with the executive board, with the full board, but the full board will go with what the executive committee usually votes on.
Mr. Crespo, why should we bring it even to the board if he do not fulfill with all the expectations that we waiting from him?
Because we have to give all due diligence by law. And any vote that any committee takes must be taken straight to the community board for ratification of the vote.
Go through the stipulation with them today.
Well, the stipulation is that they got to produce a letter from the PD, am I correct? From the 44th precinct, a letter from Community Board 4, and...
Have we already discussed the general stipulations with them, the time?
No, we haven't.
That's what I'm asking for.
But everybody's asking for
security.
And the contract and the licenses of the security officers that will work at the location.
Before we can go into stipulations with them.
That is the stipulation.
Those are the three stipulations in order for us to give them an extension to the 21st.
I was talking about the stipulation with regards to...
We haven't even gotten anywhere near there, because when we started speaking about it last month, I tried to explain to Elvin and to Ellen our problems with this particular location. We had Sergeant Guglielmo on, and he agreed that we had problems. He called out all the problems that we had at this location. Anything further than if you're telling me you running another place in the 4-4 precinct and the 4-4 got good relationships and good standings, then give me a letter from the 4-4. You saying you got good relationships with the community board? Then give me a letter from the community board saying that you got good relations and that there were no problems. And then by law, because it's a full license, you must have security officers with licenses inside the location. And we need copies of it. Not only us, but the 4-1 needs copies of those licenses. So we didn't go any further. Wait a second. Reverend John, we did not go any further than that because those were crucial things that we needed to speak about at the moment. We have not talked about anything else.
Yes, because we need to go into that because at the last meeting that we had, they had an idea that they would be able to run the business at whatever time they choose. So we need to let them know that there are limitations.
Okay, so here's the
stipulations to the time that they can operate.
So here's what I want to do, because I don't want to go into stipulations and all of that if we don't have these letters and these documents. If we get these documents on the 21st, then hold on a second. Because the executive.
How could you write a letter of recommendation without them understanding the stipulations that we usually do to establishments like this in our community board? Like the stipulations about if you got to have security, you're going to operate from this time to that time.
Right.
Different hours on Friday. I'm sure different hours on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You didn't even get into that with them, the establishment. So how could we open it up for a vote and a letter of recommendation when those issues haven't even been resolved or even mentioned?
Because we.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. No, they came to us even before getting the lease. So they were in good faith, from my understanding, and we brought to them our concerns regarding the structure, the illegal structure on the outside, and then the owner happening to mention that he has another establishment. So from there, we wanted a letter from the precinct and a letter from the board. The owner actually offered that up, saying that he has a relationship with the community board 4 and with the 44th precinct. So we never got into the stipulations or the conditions. And then they're applying for a 90-day temporary license now, right? And they still haven't applied it because they want to be in compliance with us. So Reverend John and Paula, and what I think the chairman is trying to say is we never got to that point because we're still like in this preliminary stage of, getting these documents so that then we can proceed with what hours of operation machine is going to be, their security, all of the conditions that we normally would ask. And that comes out of this committee. So I think that, what the chairman is trying to say is we just never got to that point yet. And, we're doing our due diligence, just doing the background work, getting these letters, so that we could be prepared when people start asking us about this location. Mr. Chairman, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
No, you're perfectly right, Ralph.
So, Mr. Chairman, can I then suggest that before even this, by the time they bring in the document, let it come back to the committee.
Let me just. I'm going to bring it back to the committee on the 21st. How's that?
Okay. You mean that we have another committee meeting this month?
Right, on the 21st, right before the executive committee.
Okay, the 21st.
They can come back next month.
Next month.
To the committee next month. And then after that,
I'm sorry to cut in right here, but why would there be any different method of operation or timing than what they have now? We're coming
Alvin, let me ask you something. Let me just ask you, when are you looking to open? When are you looking to open?
I am looking to
open. Like I said, as far as that's concerned, Ralph, we need a clearance letter from the sales tax office saying the bulk sale transfer is allowed. that the seller does not owe, and we're waiting for that letter to close. And once the closing is done, hopefully by the end of, we'll have possession, we'll do a little touch-up here, and if everything goes well, by Valentine next month, we're looking to open up.
So so that helps us out, because what the committee chair is presenting is that we just revisit this next month, which would more or less be around that same time.
But that would hold our application.
We're not going to be able to apply.
I'll be on the 9th.
And all the changes without your recommendation.
They won't get the approval from the State Liquor Authority on time.
Right. So I'm just curious to see when they're looking to open.
Mr. Chairman, it's not the fault of the committee. They have to come back next month.
I'm not saying it is.
They have to come back next month with the documents, and then go through the stipulations with us. The committee has to approve before we send it to the executive board or to the general board.
I understand what you're saying. I cannot intervene on the decision of the committee. That is not my, I cannot do that unless I am presiding over the committee. And since you are here and you are present and you have quorum now, I cannot preside over it and I cannot make any decisions. I would have to wait for it to come before the executive committee and the executive and to the full board. That is the only time I can intervene on anything, if I have to intervene. So this is your call, Chairman John, to do as your committee wants.
Yes, we are not comfortable with sending the application to the executive board because we don't have the time to go through the stipulation with them since we have not gotten the documentation that we needed from them, and we have not gone through the stipulations with them. There are some serious issues that we have to discuss with them in the way they operate the business. So without being able to go through that with them and having them to commit to abiding with the stipulation, it will be out of place for us to send this particular application to the executive board or to the general board.
So you feel that you gotta get the
is so important to us.
I understand. I think that then you need to get Evelyn and Barbara, one to make the motion and the other one to second it, and you all vote on it, and that's how we're gonna go by.
Can I motion to agree with Mr. John?
Well, you gotta state the motion. What is it that you're motioning?
To wait till next month that they have everything ready.
But if we're committing to providing the documents as early as before the 21st, do you guys understand what it takes to have a business close and the investment that it takes to invest in the community?
Can I say something to you, Alvin?
Absolutely.
Okay. We do not give no people who come to apply for license 2 different meetings. We're giving you 2 different meetings, and we don't do it to other people. So why should we do it with you? We have to be fair to everyone else. Do I make myself clear?
I understand you 100%.
There is a motion.
The motion on the floor. Has it been seconded?
I second the motion.
Now you can open it up for discussion, whichever way you want to take it. If you want to discuss it, I have to then abstain from any discussion on this, since I am the chairman and you do have your chairman of the committee. I have to abstain from this, and you guys can talk it out. What Barbara's saying, I got to give her the truth. That is the truth. We never given anybody a second shot on the same month. I don't believe we have. I might be wrong, but I don't believe we have. And I understand what Elvin is saying, that he's giving us everything by the 21st. The full board is not till the 25th. 25th?
Bobby, that's
What?
not true.
What?
He's things. We've bending, bowing, and doing everything Mr. Alvin wants to do, but he doesn't run this community board too. You and Pastor John are the leaders of this community board too, as far as the liquor and license permits go, and he shouldn't get a second chance. We'll see him next month. You guys vote on it. Let's move forward.
There hasn't been a vote yet. There's just a discussion.
They're going to vote, but they're going to vote.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, Larry. I'm not saying anything different. I'm abstaining because I do not have control over the committee. I'm an ex-official of the committee and only fill in when the chairman of the committee is not there.
But I don't think the chairman of the committee or Barbara or Evelyn want to do any discussion. They want to vote now. All this discussion is delaying us.
No. All I'm just saying is that both sides are correct, and that is it. That is all I'm saying. That what Barbara is saying is the total truth. We've never given anybody a second shot on a month that I can think of. Okay? And I understand that. And I give her that one. And if there was a motion to leave it for the next month, and now they just got to vote on it. The chairman has to close the discussion and then the vote.
Yes, so we are going to vote. Mr. Elvin, just to let you know, yes.
Reverend John, before we go any further.
Okay, so all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any no? Any abstention? So the motion to move this particular application to next month is approved. And we are expecting that by then, Elvin should be able to give us all the documentation so that we can be able to go through the stipulations with them and vote on sending the application to the general board. Thank you.
So ordered. It's anything else you got, Reverend John?
No old business. Is there any new business?
Still requesting these documents by the 21st, or we're going to request it next month?
Of the documents before the next meeting, committee meeting.
We'll still get to you before 21st. Yes.
And maybe to also add to what I said before, Mr. Elvin, we are not the one that is stopping you from opening your business. We are doing what is expected of us to do. And if you want to have a restaurant, you can open and start serving meals without serving alcohol. So we are not stopping you from opening the business. It's a wrong notion to think that we are standing on your way to, standing on the way or depriving you the opportunity to open your business. You feel free to open your business anytime you want, but we are dealing with the liquor license. That's what the committee is dealing with. And like the committee members have said, we look at every application the same. We have the same procedure. We always go through the stipulation, approve it. You agree with it. We agree with it. We send it to the general board. We have never sent any application to the general board without, first of all, completing the stipulation. It has never been done, and it will be out of place for us to do that now.
No, I understand 100%. Like I said, I'm here to work with you and the community, not against the community. If that's what it takes, then we'll make that happen. I just don't understand. Hopefully, the method of operations or the timing won't change as the current owner, because we have made a huge investment, and we're looking to operate the same hours that the city and the state will permit us to operate under the license. But at this point, we'll just work on getting you guys the documents, and like I said, working together with the community is our priority.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, over to you.
I got this is your committee. So you adjourn it when you're ready to adjourn, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Rav, is there any new business or any announcement?
Ralph?
Oh, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm here. I was talking. I forgot I mute myself. No, we have nothing on our end. I don't know if anyone else. I know we do have representatives here. We have Angel and we have Kelvin. I don't know if they have from our local electeds, from our state senator and our assembly member. I don't know if they have anything they want to say.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me again. I'm glad I joined. The conversation has been obviously interesting, and I would like to see. I'm glad that this community board is holding everyone accountable. Our office remains open at our normal office hours, obviously because of COVID. We're not physically in the office, but you can reach us regardless of that, and I'll drop my information. Excuse me. I'll drop my information in the chat as well. But again, thank you.
Thank you.
This is Kelvin from Assemblymember Jackson's office. A new Assembly member, Chantel Jackson of the 79th. We are happy to be here, and we thank you for the opportunity to join the community here. It's very interesting to notice with what's going on, and I really do. I want to second that. I really appreciate that you guys are holding folks accountable and making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But with that said, if you need help, if you're in need of assistance, if you would like the Assembly member to be a part of this board, community board, and to attend, please let me know, and I will make it ping it on her to-do list to join. So I added my information on the chat, but I look forward to being part of this community board in the future. Thank you, guys.
Hi, Calvin.
Kelvin.
This is Paula Fields Conyers, the treasurer and the standing chair for the Housing and Land Committee. Does Ms. Jackson have any intention on attending any of the meetings that we have? Because Mr. Blake was very, very noticeable and active in the district, so I'm wondering if she was going to be the same way.
Yeah, so she's going to be the same exact way, and that's why Michael supported Ms. Jackson on her run campaign. She really does care about the community and wants to get involved. She's all about wellness and helping the community. So
thank you,
Kelvin. Just for the record, yes, I wanted to be known that we had Ms. Jackson on before she got sworn in at the last board meeting. She had assured us that either herself or the staff will be available for the committee meetings. She doesn't need to join any committee or any board. She is an elected official. She represents us, and by all means, the discussions that I had with her, she would be a great addition. And I hate to disagree with my treasurer, who I adore and I work very closely with, but he has shown much more interest in this board than, unfortunately, our previous assembly member.
thank you so much for the kind words, Mr. Crespo, and I will definitely share the words with her, and I appreciate that. I'll still try and get her to say hello at least.
Yeah,
that's okay with
all
you.
All you gotta do is let Ralph know,
and everyone know. Yeah.
And Ralph will let me know, and naturally, if whatever segment of the agenda we're on, I can always suspend the agenda at that second if she has someplace else to go, and she only has a very few minutes or whatever. I would stop and then let her say whatever she wants to say, as I do with all elected officials.
Thank you, Mr. Crespo. Thank you, Chairman Crespo. Thank you, Ms. Field. And again, I'm thank you guys for this. I look forward to seeing you guys again at the next meeting. Have a blessed evening and Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Happy New Year.
Everybody, I forgot to say that. I'm sorry. I walked in late. Ralph called me.
Okay.
But Happy New Year to everybody. My only words as the chairman, and I will probably repeat it on the full board, is that 2020 was very hard on us. A lot of bad things happened to us in 2020. We lost a lot of family members. We lost a lot of friends, and it also taught us how to unite and fight against a disease that has mutated itself into a stronger virus in China and as well as other parts of the world. But if we continue doing what we've been doing this year, the last 10 months, hopefully an ending will be coming soon. I would ask our elected officials to find out from the governor, when does he think that vaccines will be available for. I will ask elected officials to ask the governor, when will vaccines be available for us who are not of the age that he designated. I just hit 65, so I'm glad about that, but we have a lot of other people that have not hit 65 yet, and I think that they need to get vaccinated just as well. So all I can say is that I wish everybody a happy, healthy, and a super 2021, and that God bless us all, and that God help us in our troubled times. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So if there is no other item, can somebody move a motion for adjournment, please?
Barbara?
Yes, Governor's there. I was trying to give her chance.
What happened?
Somebody make a motion to adjourn?
Good chance.
Yeah, I make the motion to adjourn.
Okay, Evelyn makes the motion. Barbara seconds. All those in favor? Aye.
Bye.
Bless. Bye and good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Everyone.
Good night, buddy.